Hey, welcome back, Red Rock Crawlers. We are at the Winter 4x4 Jamboree in Sand Hollow, Utah. And I love coming here. I just love it. I come here for Trail Hero, Winter 4x4 Jamboree, and pretty much any other time I can find an excuse to come down here. Since we're here, I wanted to talk about something I've been looking at upgrading for quite a while. And that is my winch. I would love to upgrade my winch, but unfortunately I don't have the money for that yet. But I am going to be replacing my winch cable. And we're going to talk a little bit about what I've got versus what we're going to. Probably 7 years now I've had this winch. It's a Smittybilt XRC 8, so it's an 8,000 pound winch. And I've always thought that I should probably get a bigger winch because, you know, a 4-door JK is probably maxing this thing out. But I have used it several times. I've actually pulled myself up the Widowmaker on Metal Masher out in Moab. I've pulled several friends out of snowbanks or mud holes or whatever. But the whole time that I've owned this winch, I've had this steel cable on it. The steel cable is fine, and honestly, it works really good. There's a few things I do like about steel cable. It's very durable. You can run it over rocks and through mud and dirt, and it's not really going to hurt it too much. I mean, over time it does degrade a little bit, but not quite like a synthetic rope does. The downsides to a steel cable is you've probably all seen videos on YouTube or wherever of these things breaking. The steel cable or the hook, the D-ring that it's connected to, something breaks, and all the energy that is strung up in that steel cable can come flying back and take things out. It can take people out, limbs out, you know, windshields, parts of vehicles. So there is quite a bit of damage that can be caused from a steel cable. I go wheeling a lot more now with my kids, and you know, that's always been kind of a thought in the background of my head, is I don't want obviously that to happen to my kids. I am going to be replacing the steel winch cable, and let me show you what I've got. This is a fiery red 4x4 synthetic winch line. It's 30 meters long, which I believe is close to 100 feet. I'd have to do the math. I should know that because I grew up in Canada and everything is metric up there. This was sent to me by Vic Offroad. I've actually seen a few of these around. I don't really know a lot about Vic Offroad. I believe they're based out of Australia. However, it does look like this was made in China. I mean, I know a lot of stuff is made in China these days. Anyway, I don't have a lot of experience with this particular brand. I know that synthetic lines out there have a reputation for being lightweight, a little bit safer, maybe a lot of it safer, maybe a little bit more maintenance because you have to wash them every now and then, especially if you get them dirty, sandy, muddy, whatever. And you got to be careful about running them over the rocks. So let's open it up and take a look. So it does come with a fair lead. That's pretty nice actually, because I didn't have one for a synthetic line, so that's good. Comes with the cable itself, or the synthetic line. Put that down. The winch line itself is orange in color. Whatever, I don't know that I necessarily care. You know, it looks like your standard winch line. It's all woven. I mean, it feels like it's a pretty good quality line. It's got the connection end for the the drum, and then your recovery end. Put your hook or factor 55 link or something like that on there. And then it does come with a hook. I would recommend upgrading the hook, although I haven't done that myself, to a closed loop system. Factor 55 makes them. You know, there's lots of other companies out there that make them, but anyway, comes with those items. So it is pretty much a complete system. So I am going to run the old winch line out, and we're going to hook up the new one. Just wanted to show you, I've got a few kinks in the line. I mean, it has been 7-something years, so it's probably time. Okay, so as you saw, we got the winch line installed down there on the beach in Sand Hollow. I wasn't able to really get it secure on the drum. I could not get the fatter winch line to attach to my drum with the screw that's on there, so I'll have to get a different screw. So I wasn't really able to test it, but there are a few things that I do want to talk about with this line versus what you might get, you know, somewhere else. This whole thing, the line, the fairlead, and the hook here, it was about $120. Like I said, Vic Offroad sent this to me, you know, to do this review, but just to give you kind of a reference of how much, you know, all this cost. When I was there at Winter Jamboree, I also picked up Factor 55 Fat Link. And I got this awesome blue color to go with my red Jeep. This link itself is $180 normally. They had them on sale there, but this link here costs more than the line, the fairlead, and the hook. There's obviously going to be a price difference between something made in America, you know, versus something made overseas. Like I said, I haven't been able to really test this that much, so I don't know as far as the longevity. I'll probably have to do a follow-up video and see, you know, how the longevity of this lasts. You know, it's supposed to be UV protected and all that, so we'll see. Like I mentioned on the beach down there, that I think it's a good idea to upgrade the hook. This is an open system, you know, it's open on the one end, and that just allows for a failure point where this fat link, it's all enclosed. Your soft shackle or deeming or whatever can fit through here, and it's all enclosed, and there's a less likelihood for it to break. All right, one more thing I wanted to point out here. I also picked up, just trying to get it out of here, picked up a fairlead from Factor 55. Look how much thicker this is. The material is a lot thicker. It allows for a lot more of a gradual ramp or whatever as the line runs into your winch. Where this here, it's a lot thinner, so it's a lot more of a sharper or shallower angle. If you're doing a lot of winching, you might want a better quality fairlead to go with your synthetic line, and a better quality, you know, attachment point. For a lot of us, I think that, you know, we're winching, what, once a year maybe? You know, maybe it's not worth spending the extra money on something like this. But if you want something that's gonna last essentially forever, and you don't want to have any problems with it and possible failures with it, then I would recommend, you know, going with something we all know proven to work and last, like Factor 55. For $120, I think this is a good starter setup. It'll get you, you know, a decent synthetic line. It'll get you going. But if you find yourself using your equipment a lot more often, then you might consider, you know, upgrading your equipment. So that's my 2 cents. Hopefully this helps you guys decide what you want to do. I think that this is a great starting point. You don't want something like a winch or a recovery point failing on you when you need it most. All right, you guys. Well, thanks for watching. I appreciate everybody tuning in. So tell me what you guys think. I'd love to hear your opinions. I know that there's arguments that can go both ways. I think that overall the synthetic line is probably better for me over a steel cable. Would love to hear any thoughts you guys have. I'd love to have you on the Red Rock Crawler team, so hit that sub button and stay tuned for more videos, and we will see you guys on the trail.